We'd like to welcome you this evening to what is going to be an absolute monumental conversation. If you've ever done anything in this country, you realize that great change happens when people talk about change. It was Barack Obama that told us that change is possible. It is inevitable when you be the change you want to be. And it wasn't new. People have been saying that for years. Our grandmothers had said it. Our great-grandparents had said it. But it's the right turn, not the right time. Some of us are in our turn. Not in time, you're in your turn, and that's why great things are happening for you.
We are the generation of change. We're stepping confidently and collectively with our dignity intact. Our potential and willingness are what make us qualified. It's God's call that we answer, so we're already justified. Children's laughter may cause you to reminisce about days, unfortunately, not as liberating as this. Now the children decide who they will be from a young age, determined to be a part of this massive movement of change. Our individuality at the forefront, inadequacies dismissed, authenticity embraced. All I ever needed was inside of me. All I ever wanted, I found in me. The greatest love of all is happening relentlessly, and I'm so grateful to say it originated in me.
And Joshana, you did something that was phenomenal when we were before the city council some weeks ago. You stood up before them and you said, I am a queer identified individual. What does that mean?
It means that I am, one, not heterosexual. It means that my politics are not of the norm. It means that I speak very strongly for and of the queer identified community. That's the LGBTQIQ and A. It means that I am a woman who loves women. It means that I am all of that and more, and I am everything that you probably don't necessarily understand or agree with.
When the article came out, it was a lot of confusion as though that you can't go to an all-male institution if you are queer identifying. Just because you don't fit into the norm of the average male in society, that there was an issue, that you shouldn't be at this institution. I believe that's what makes the institution great. The differing of opinions and ideals, that's what made the Morehouse brand. Not to fit in a certain mold and to follow this certain path throughout life. So I think that it was not so much as exploiting, but it shed light on an issue that needed to be discussed.
You turn on MTV, you turn on BET, you have women shaking it, doing it, sitting on each other's lap, giving you the lap dances, and because the straight environment thinks that that's okay and accepts it, it is accepted in the medium. So when you do see a lesbian female, you know, they are more accepted because they're more accepted in the mainstream. But you see a Marsha Ambrosius video where you saw two very masculine, good-looking men kissing, people had an issue with that video when they first saw it because they felt like if you are gay, you need to look or be so close to a feminine activity, and that's acceptable but not masculinity. So we have to be very careful of what we allow people to give us for subjection and for what we accept, because what that does, that sets us up for a situation where they turn around and really use it as a weapon against us. So we have to say no. We have to really assert ourselves and say this is what we call masculinity, and respect each other. You know, just because I choose not to identify with a person who may wear heels or bags doesn't mean I have the right to disrespect them. They're still a black gay man, they're still an individual, and I should support them. And when we stop doing that to each other, then that sends a clear message to let other people do that to us. And it's like a genocide within a smaller circle.
I went to Morehouse to learn to be more masculine because I didn't have anyone to teach me how to be more masculine. The first person to down me as a homosexual or to call me out of my name was my father. So I'm thinking, I'm going to this institution, I am who I am, maybe the brothers here can show me how to be more masculine. And when I got there, it was like segregation. It was like only a subgroup of individuals, as you guys may know as the plastics, came to me, approached me, and embraced me as if we're here for you. We are who we are, you are who you are. We're not gonna sit, we're not gonna judge you. Bam, that was the end of that. Transitioning over to a predominantly white school where it's 60,000 kids and everybody's rumbling about, they don't pay attention to you. If you're gay, you have the white kids on campus wearing heels to class. You have the gay professors in the classrooms wearing ascots and wearing fashionable things that people could look at and say, I identify with. So to me, going to a HBCU opposed to going to a more mainstream Caucasian college, it was just a segregation.
When you go to an HBCU, you go with the understanding of what it means to be a black man or woman. which is something completely different than what it means to be a man or woman. It's a completely different construct. And what it means to be a black man or woman does not include anti-heterosexual identification. And it's perpetuated and reinforced on an HBCU in very real and institutionalized ways, whereas that's not necessarily the case on majority campuses. Yes, there are biases and there are definitely, homophobic tendencies on that campus, but it's a completely different feel on an HBCU campus because of what it means, or what we have been taught and what we have kind of absorbed of what it means to be both black and male and black and female in America.
I'm a student leader on campus, so I was there and at Spelman College during new student orientation, and actually got to watch the socialization process of new freshmen who were brought into the Spelman environment and the AUC environment. So the assumption is that everyone is heterosexual. I had a student come up to me and say, I need to talk to you because I feel like I'm carrying a secret and I don't understand why I'm open at home, I'm open in my high school, but as soon as I came into this environment, why do I feel like I'm the outsider? I can't talk about myself, or I need to be closeted in some type of way, but I never felt like that before I actually got to the campus. So it's definitely a heterosexist environment, and that's reinforced, just like Deshauna said, over and over and over again, especially during your 12 days where you're being socialized in this space and you can't contact anybody else outside,
I applaud every young person here for wherever you guys fit in, but you guys have to understand, you guys have made such a leap forward for our lifestyle that you are able to identify, you are able to coexist on the campus, and you're able to fight for your voice. Because I can tell you, I went to school at a black college, I pledged a fraternity, and if you were even thought about being a person who was gay, it was an issue. It affected your college career at that university. And so there were so many people who went through school, late 80s, early 90s, they could not identify. And, you did not join certain organizations. I didn't join the Baptist Student Movement. I'm like, I'm not going over there with them because that was, the label. But there was no place to go and talk to someone or to co-identify with someone to say, this is what I'm like. And so, will it stop tomorrow? No. But I think you guys are definitely in a good place and a good process. And I think what needs to happen when you pass the torch. The only criticism that I have is that as we move forward, we have got to learn how to undergird each other within our differences within our own gay community. Because that is the number one issue that we have. We don't support each other. So we cannot ask someone from the outside to support and respect us when we down each other. Charity starts at home. So it can stop, but it's going to take more work. But we have got to embrace each other, and you guys are farther ahead than we were, 15, 20 years ago when I was in school. So kudos to you guys.
I am so proud about my generation is that we wear our sexuality on our sleeve. And even though some people say that's taboo or that's too much or that's flamboyant, to me that's saying I'm not going to apologize for being who I am. When I come in a room, you'll know. And you decide how you want to react to me. But that's what it is, period. And when I come, I'm leaving, and I'm leaving something.
Will you guys put your hands together for 2011's Be Educated panelists? Absolutely amazing.
The greatest love of all is easy to achieve. Learning to love yourself is the greatest love of by chance, that special place that you've been dreaming of leads you to a lonely place, then find your strength in love.